to our play space here. We got Mercer on the left with the Phoenix, Schrodes on the right with Crab. I believe that is Seeker of Void under the Phoenix box there, and then Keeper of Water just off to the bottom there. Hang tight. Go ahead.
Looks like we're using some EC sleeves there in case anyone's watching and curious about the sleeves they see there, the little wooden looking ones. Those are prize support for the Elemental Championships. The wooden box you see Schrodes using there is a reward for being second earned a Hatamoto status, which speaks to Schrodes' play level as a player of the Crab. The mat itself is from the first season, so you know that not only is he Hatamoto'd in this current season, but he's also Hatamoto'd in the previous season. So a good player for multiple years earning his titles, so that's something that you would take notice of if you're against him. At least I would if I was playing against him. Make sure I don't underestimate the guy I'm playing against. But at the top 8, you shouldn't underestimate anyone anyway.
I believe that those are top 2 Elemental Championship rings too. All right, we got rolls for going first here. Mercer hits an 11. Schrodes rolls off the table, gets a reroll. He gets a 10. Mercer's going to get to decide who goes first. And he takes the first player.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
Oh, yeah?
Phoenix, I think, would do better to be able to pick ring on second turn versus Crab.
Going second on the second turn, or going first on the second turn to be able to take a fade off of ring?
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that.
Because they need economy, and they do not have Embrace the Void anymore. Theoretically, he's on Tadaka. We haven't got the playlist yet, so we don't know for sure.
I believe he is on Tadaka. I will say that there is something to be said about the aggression you can put forth as the first player on the first turn. If you can get an early break and get ahead, and then you have Against the Waves as Phoenix stand up and defend if you need to, or maybe even go in for a second attack. Got mulligans going on. We got 2 coming out from Mercer.
I didn't catch what Schrodes did there.
I did not as well.
And my apologies, viewers, if my voice is a little rasp. A lot of us are suffering from con syndromes here from being stuck rubbing on each other yesterday. It was very, very tight quarters.
There was some tight quarters yesterday. There was some cute confusion with the hotel. Let's have a quick shout out to Cascade Gaming. They performed with aplomb and got everybody lined up the way they needed to be through some intense difficulties, especially with play space, and also they had some tournament software problems. All right, we got 2 mulligans coming out from Mercer again, and I believe that's 2 from Schrodes as well.
Yeah,
3 from Schrodes.
Whoa, he's digging for something. My wager is an assassination.
An assassination. We still don't know how many Way of the Crabs he's on, if any.
And he may not be on assassination. We know Max Williams I don't think runs assassination, so it's a possibility. I've seen some top-level Crab players just go away from assassination to keep themselves honor neutral so they don't risk dishonor while they're being staunchly defensive. Uh-oh.
Little bit of a spill. Nothing revealed. No problems. Schrodes being a sport and bringing us the list over here. Thank you so much. All right, let's take a quick look here. Looking at Schrodes' list, looks pretty standard on the Dynasty side. 3 Iron Mines, of course, a Karada District. Looks like he's got 2 Tadakas and
2 Kadakos. That's some spicy tech.
He is not playing any Crisis Breaker, and he doesn't have an Imperial Palace either.
Nope, he does not. And like I said, the Kudaku is some spicy tech. If you're going to be going air ring and pressuring dishonor, that's a really good way to get maximum value out of it.
Yeah. Looking over on the conflict side, looks like he's Unicorn Splash. He's running 3 Spyglass, 2 Talisman, and 3 Yuuchi Wayfinders. 0 Way of the Crabs, it appears. And I don't see any assassinates either.
3 fight-ons, 3 mountains does not fall to be able to get in their multiple contact. 1 spreading the darkness should be noted.
Oh yeah, that is very good for pushing for a break if you need to. That +3 military is nothing to sneeze at.
And an interesting 1 censure.
1 censure gets the favor. That's I think we see a lot of people running 1 censure, having the option for that one, canceling that 1 event, especially in a world where 5 fires exist, where fate worse than death exists. Having the ability to block an event is an important thing.
But 0 assassinates and 0, not even 1 way of the crab, means that since deck lists, like I said, were viewed by both players, and quantity as well as quality counts, the player knows there is 0 of those. So now he can play his Dreamers and his 2-drops with impunity, not having to worry about assassination. And his economy is better because he does not have to play the Dragon economy game, because he does not have to respect Way of the Crab.
So I imagine Schrodes is going to be trying to play a little bit of a grindy game. Standard Crab, just going to stay there as long as possible and try and outlast Mercer. Let's take a look at Mercer's list now.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry. We do have a question from chat. He is, in fact, on charge as his restricted card. There is 0 rebuilds in this deck, so he has 3 charges.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, when you are running fight-ons and Mountain Does Not Fall, you can get a little more out of a charge target too,
All right.
so I can see that.
We got the handshake coming out. We'll get to Mercer's list later. We got the flips going on.
Oh, that's not what you want to see. There's the big man.
There is the big man. On Mercer's side, we got a 1 Mia Mystic, an Ethereal Dreamer, a Sakosuki, and a Solemn Scholar.
Now see here, this is one of those situations where do I put 1 or 2 Fate? If he's running Assassination, that's a real question.
Yeah. So he throws out the Ethereal Dreamer with 2 Fate. Over on Schrodes' side, we have that is a Intimidating Hida goes out.
Right.
He's also got a Storehouse and Hida Kasada and a Keeper.
This is very clever, because what he's anticipating is he's going to force him to keep attacking too. And the goal being here, I think he just wants to start pinging him up front and making him burn his cards.
Yeah.
Off the bat.
For sure. Solemn Scholar comes out with 1 Fate. Then Schrodes passes, takes the extra Fate.
5/5.
We've got bids, 5 and 5, 0 honor exchanged, and going for the draw.
While they're looking that over real quick, so we have Kyudnasawa. Nothing really special about the province row here. Sawa Tadaka is the restricted list card, which we called from a mile away.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Even with the errata, making him so it's only during and after you've claimed the Earth Ring, he's still quite intimidating.
Interestingly
we have a
enough-
Spyglass that comes down on Schrodes' side. Let go immediately, drops it off. Schrodes pops the Imperial Storehouse to draw another card.
Interestingly enough, in my experience, a lot of the Kyudnasawa decks drop their secluded shrines for Imperial storehouses, but he is on favorable grounds instead.
Gotcha. We see the Ethereal Dreamer calls the Earth Ring, gets +2/+2 during Earth Ring. He's going to go in political on the Earth Ring, 3 strength.
Do we know what ring he
That
claimed?
is a Defend the Wall. Yeah, we see a Defend the Wall. He defends with the Intimidating Hida and attaches a Watch Commander.
And I'm almost baiting dollars to dozen Schroed played the Spyglass to see if there was a let go, because again, he knows that his opponent is on let goes.
There is a Mountain Does Not Fall. Intimidating Hida is going to stand through this conflict.
This
Pass
gets him
on
the
Mercer
favor too, by throwing that guy out and forcing 2 attacks that he knew he could Mountain Does Not Fall. He was planning on winning both those rings and forcing him into situations.
Yeah. Box goes out, giving +1 to the Crab side. I believe he tried to play a Supernatural Storm and lost an honor for the Watch Commander. Does take the ring, though, with that Supernatural Storm. Hits another Watch Commander on the Earth Ring and draws a card.
Oh, man, that hurts.
Yeah, that hurts a lot, although we have him standing Intimidating Hida now. Although if he tries to go in for the attack, the Solemn Scholar is just going to bow him.
I think that's what you have to do, though, because you attack to pull the Solemn Scholar. And then fight on, because the Solemn Scholar's already spent.
Well, it appears that he passed his first conflict, then Mercer passes his second conflict, loses an honor from the Intimidating Hida.
So that puts him at 9, correct?
Yep, 9 honor. Schrodes considering his option, maybe going in for his second attack here. Maybe I think he just passed.
I'm a little curious. How is Schrodes at 5?
He's got 4 up here next to his roll card.
No.
Oh, he's stacking his honor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see the 5 on the picture. So he is stacking his honor, people. So that is not what it looks like.
I believe he still has the full complement of 10.
Okay.
Mercer's going to claim the favor, puts it on military. Schrodes flushes the Keeper Initiate. Mercer flushes the Suki. Keeps the Mia Mystic.
So the Q Nasawa deck seems pretty par for the course. A bunch of 3 of the prime cards. Nothing much that we haven't seen. 3 Path of Mans. It's pretty much a good stuff Travis build.
Strong stuff Phoenix. Recurring spells, just getting over the top. So we're probably going to see a little bit of a grindy game on the Crab side, trying to just burn through the aggression of the Phoenix. Although we got a pretty good start. He's already down 2 honor, and with an Intimidating Hida that has a Fate and a Watch Commander. That's pretty good.
Oh, and there's Karada District.
Flips a Karada, a Shuichi, has Hida Kasada already on the board, and the Shrewd Yasuki.
Yeah.
Over on the Schrodes side, we have a Mia Mystic, a Prodigy of the Waves, or sorry, not Prodigy, Adept of the Waves,
And,
a
this is
Sako,
really
and
unprecedented here.
Yojimbo.
I would say in this situation, Schrodes is determined that he's the beater. He seems to be playing a very aggressive board style with Fate management and everything included.
Oh, yeah. Hits the Shuichi onto the board. Mercer responds with the Yojimbo.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Yojimbo can cancel an instance of Covert, correct?
It can. Yes,
So I think that's why he bought that, to kind of counterbalance the Shuichi play.
yeah. Although Shuichi just coverts the Yojimbo, that gets around that.
Yeah,
I believe we have 5 bids again.
we did. Double 5.
Not quite low enough on honor to start pushing the 1 bid. I think that Karada District is not entirely relevant in this matchup. We really only have 5 attachments on the Phoenix side. Oh, Cloud the Mind as well.
Cloud the
Fine
Mind,
Katana
Fantanas.
and Ornate Fan.
Yeah.
Not as relevant as it is in other matchups, but if Mercer has any attachments, he's just going to stale them. Players considering their options. Schrodes has the first action in the first conflict. Throws out a Ichu Wayfinder.
He's going to peer at the Adept of the Waves.
Reveals Meditations.
That's a really good poker for the Yuchi Wayfinder. Not so good for any of these other units.
I mean, being able to guarantee that you're not going to hit Shameful Display or another nasty province. I believe, what provinces are we in? We are on Shameful Display, Manicure Gardens, Upholding Authority. Mostly just being able to guarantee that you're not going to hit Upholding Authority or Shameful Display.
He is going in water there with the Wayfinder.
That, of course, is Meditations.
Do we have any Keeper Initiates? We have 1.
There is 1 Keeper Initiate in the discard pile.
That's what we're hoping for here. Do we know what ring he declared for the Dreamer?
I missed it, so we'll see. If it's 3-1 right now, then 2-1, I believe. I don't think he declared water. Although maybe he did. Otherwise, why would you defend with the Ethereal Dreamer? We got a charge. Mercer looking for his sensor, and there it is.
So that is one of 3 censures, because he is actually running 3.
I believe 3 is the correct call for Phoenix.
Oh no,
They
it
don't have
is.
they don't have an in-faction one, and they are, especially on Dragon Splash, they're pretty good at claiming the favor. Pass. Everybody goes home bad, and Mercer claims the ring.
Especially with the super hyper splash for favor control of 3 let goes, 3 ancient masters, which is one of the best splashes if you're trying to guarantee a censure.
Oh, for sure. All right, Mercer going in for his second conflict here, or first conflict here. Solemn Scholar with the favor. Does hit Shameful Display. Is that supposed to be military, or is it intended to be political void?
I think that is going to be very rough.
Yeah, Shameful Display, especially Shuichi, has some of the highest glory of any Phoenix character.
Crab character.
Crab character. Thank you.
And he had all 3.
He had all 3. Third Watch Commander hits Shuichi. This is going to be very difficult for Mercer to get any cards out here without losing a ton of honor.
I will say this. Keeping 1 unit alive is relatively easy for any crab deck. Juggling 2 units throughout the game could be difficult.
Especially without rebuilds. We see Kiyonasawa bows to play Supernatural Storm on the Solemn Scholar, going up +3. So now we have 4 to... I'm not sure. Math
3.
is hard.
4 to 3. He's going to honor him. Maybe that's not shameful. Because he just used court games.
Stand by. No, I believe that is shameful.
Maybe he's hoping to save it for another attack on it?
For the second conflict, yeah.
He negated the shameful.
Okay, so we are getting confirmation the shameful was negated with the Yojimbo.
Okay.
We see the second mountain does not fall come out. Shuichi's going to be standing. Censor comes out to block it. That's the second censor. One more censor left in the deck.
3 watch commanders. We're seeing all the prime cards up front here.
Yeah.
Both players were drawing pretty hot. Oh, yeah. Well, there's one right there.
We see a pass. Mercer takes the Void Ring. Voids off the Intimidating Hita. Pre-conflict's coming out. Schrodes considering his options. Mercer is a bit antsy and passed before Schrodes had the chance to. Pass and pass. Schrodes comes in for his second conflict here. Looks like he's going to do the Intimidating Hita. He's got to do political this time. Political air seems pretty good, although he could forego the fate and go for the Earth Ring here. And he goes for the fire. Maybe looking to dishonor a character or honor up one of his own. Goes at the Meditations. No longer has any fate on the Hita. Meditations is still blank. Defense with the Mia Mystic. 3-2-1 right now. Pass and pass. Schrodes is going to take the fire ring, dishonoring the Yojimbo.
I expect the Mia Mystic now will drop Shuichi's watch commander since he's anticipating the Berserker to die.
Yeah, I imagine by the end of the turn we'll see that.
Or he's not a berserker, he's just a bushi, sorry.
Yeah, just Mercer still has an attack left. I believe a military attack.
One fate, could see a fight on. Fight on Shuichi would not be a bad call.
If he has a fight on, he's definitely been drawn super hot. Both players looking over the board state, thinking about what to do here. Just confirming that maybe that the mountain's already been played once per phase. The Dishonored Yojimbo comes out. We do see the fight on. Schrodes playing hot. Pass and pass. Schrodes is going to claim the ring. Post conflict. There's the Mia Mystic dropping the Watch Commander. Schrodes doesn't have any fate. He can't play reprieve on that Hida. And the board goes away. So we have remaining one Ethereal Dreamer and one Shiba Yojimbo versus a Kai Shuichi that's honored. Fates up the rings, flushes cards, and let's go to the next round.
And he's still at 7 honors, so he's not in a particularly bad spot.
7 honor versus, I believe, still maybe the full complement, although maybe he's down to maybe 8. Can't really tell because of the stack. No breaks taken so far. Schrodes goes up to 7. Mercer is on 10 fate. And there's the flips. Oh no. Mercer has the favor, and he just revealed the Kurata District and a Nujina and a Master of Gisei Toshi and a Tadaka. Mercer is spoiled for options here, although I imagine he'll only really have the fate to play one of those. Kanjo District is definitely going to put the hurt on Schrodes.
I mean, you buy Tadaka here. One fight on's been played. You cancel the remainder.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, he throws out the Ujina. I kind of agree with that play, because if he can force through a Void Ring, voids off Shuichi, and then Shuichi gets removed from the game. And Mercer is first player, so he's going to have the opportunity to go at it.
I don't know. I disagree with that. I mean, my opinion is I think Tadaka's better in this. He's already played one Cloud the Mind. He's played one, not Cloud the Mind, sorry. He played one Court Games. He's played one Fight On. He's played 2 The Mountain Does Not Fall, so he gets rid of the 3rd Mountain Does Not Fall in the process.
He has also played a Charge, too. Okay. I think Tadaka would have shut down a lot of the events, but we haven't seen a whole lot of the attachments except for the Watch Commanders, and the attachments are pretty strong in Crab. Schrodes staring down a very intimidating flop, looking at his options. He has a Steadfast Witch Hunter, a Kasada, and a Shrewd Yasuki. That's going to be rough. He might just have to play the Shrewd Yasuki maybe, bank some fate, take his licks this turn, and come back strong next turn.
I like Kasada here because, correct me if I'm wrong, if he tries to cancel the first action that the Crab player plays with the Yojimbo, Kasada would stop that.
I don't believe so. I don't think the Yojimbo is a triggered ability, and I don't think Hida Kasada can't cancel reactions anyways. He can only cancel actions.
Okay.
Got some flips. We got 5 versus 3. Schrodes is going to lose some honor there, and Mercer gains some back. He did play the Steadfast Witch Hunter with 0 fate.
I will pass draw phase actions.
Passing draw phase. Schrodes going deep in the tank. I don't blame him. Ethereal Dreamer calls Void, I believe. Seems pretty safe. He's going to push, I imagine, with at least Ugina and the Ethereal Dreamer. Spyglass hits Shuichi. Gonna draw him a card, but also relevant is that +1 political. We'll probably see a political on the Void. Thinking about switching to military. He's got 5-6 total military with the favor. Schrodes has more though if he blocks with everything. No, he does do political though. So we have
defends the wall. That almost incentivizes. I mean, he was going to have to block anyway. Why incentivize the ring benefit?
Well, I think he doesn't want to hit something that might be a little bit more actionable during the conflict. If Schrodes can get over the top, he can get that Void Ring, but at least the Steadfast Witch Hunter will still get removed from the game.
So he's worried about either Manicured Garden, Along the River of Gold, or Meditations on the Tau.
So River of Gold is going to be on the box. Meditations hitting Ugina is not great. That's a fate that just goes away, although not terrible. Manicured Garden, I think Defend the Wall is still probably his best option. Shuichi triggers, gives him a fate. You see Clarity of Purpose hits Ugina. Gonna keep him standing through and after the conflict. That's pretty strong. Cloud the Mind hits Ugina. Oh, that's big. If there's no let go for this, Schrodes could actually come out on top at this turn. Especially if he's got a fight on in hand too, to block a second conflict.
And that is one of 2 clouds, so there's only one left in deck.
There's only one left. Although if he also has maybe an Ayuchi Wayfinder in hand, he could also sacrifice it to the Witch Hunter to stand Shuichi up. That No Fate Witch Hunter seems like a better play now that we know he had Cloud in hand. Really needed to buy that Shugenja to get the Cloud on the board. This is a pretty big conflict right here. Mercer clearly does not have a let go, otherwise he would have played it. Mount the third. Mountain does not fall. Hits the table. Shuichi is going to remain standing through the conflict. Or at the end of the conflict, rather. He's got to dishonor Shuichi now, though. And he...
these are 2 cards that Tadaka could have possibly avoided, though we would see the Cloud the Mind. But at the point by, we did not know that the Cloud the Mind was there.
I think they were both pretty strong buys. Schrodes reveals the court games to cancel out Mercer's court games. Got a pass from Mercer. Schrodes' option now. I believe he is losing the conflict right now. Schrodes looking it over, considering what he needs to do. And he just passes. And there goes the Void from Shuichi. That Cloud the Mind, though, coming in real handy. Otherwise, Shuichi would have gone away. Both players have their characters remain standing, though. Looks like Schrodes is planning on keeping his Shuichi for the second defense, and then probably using him for his last attack. He is second player. He's going to go in Military Earth towards the Karada district with the Witch Hunter. Hits a Manicured Garden. I think I heard no defenders, and he gains a Fate. Schrodes looking it over. He needs to try and force the break to see force Mercer to use the Karada district. Thinking it through, being methodical. I think one of the worst things you can do in this game, Alan, is play too fast and miss an important action that might have saved you the game. We see a reprieve hit Shuichi.
I'm a bit confused myself. Why didn't the Phoenix player, after the mountain does not fall, use the Kanjo district to just send him home?
I believe Kanjo is an attacking character. Is that not correct? Oh, choose a participant character, battle character, move him home. He could have forced the break with that. He was already taking the ring. So he probably
but it also
wanted
counters
to...
mountain.
It does counter mountain. He probably might want to save it for the attack, though. He could have just... Schrodes could have just used the... Oh, we see a displayer power. Yeah, I'm not sure why he didn't use the Kanjo. It is very good to keep that threat on the board. Blowing it too early could...
that was the third and final mountain, too, so that just...
Yeah. So we see the display of power. Loses 1 honor for the undefended, but then he gets to claim the Earth Ring. Hits a Fine Katana. Mercer going in for his second attack. He's going to go military water. That seems like a good choice because he'll be able to bow the Shuichi even with mountain.
So it looks like one of our matches in the top 8 have finished, and we have our dragon player known as G Going on Discord. If you would, how did your match go?
Oh, do I talk?
Yeah, you're live.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, the match went really well. So that was my first time playing against Mark. You know, he was playing a Keeper of Air Scorpion with Kyuden Bayushi, super heavy Dishonor deck, opening bid 1, and pretty much the flop. I saw like a Swordsmith, a Raitsugu, and a Tranquil Philosopher. That's what I remember seeing. And the difficult decision I had to make was play the Philosopher with no Fate on any rings, turn 1, or play Raitsugu, which is what I would normally go to for a Scorpion matchup. But so I saw his deck list and I saw he was running Peasant's Advice. So and my opening conflict was I had like Hurricane Punches and Void Fist and Seal of the Dragon and a Fight On. That was a crazy opening mulligan. So I played the Tranquil Philosopher with 4 Fate, and then I got Passing Fate. And he like opening hit my Shameful Display, and I Tranquil Philosopher, you know, honored, dishonored, and I actually won both conflicts in round 1 after I fought on, and luckily he didn't have a Forged Edict. So yeah, I got favor. From there. Yeah, it snowballed heavy from there after winning turn 1, and a lot of these games are like that. At this level, it's like a turn 1, you'll snowball hard, and my second turn, I think I played like a Mendicant and a Doom Shugenja, and I just, you know, blocked carefully, attacked carefully. I netted my honor and my fate with the Tranquil Philosopher from there, and then turn 3 I played a Yokuni with 4 Fate, and when I had 12 Fate banked at turn 3, and I played a Yokuni with 4 Fate, and he conceded because, you know, it's like it's going to be nearly impossible to dishonor with Yokuni and Tranquil Philosopher just, you know, generating Fate, 2 Fate around. So but yeah, like I had a lot of practice in that matchup because my buddy Scott from DFW, Kiseki on Discord, actually helped me play that matchup a lot, and I have a lot of Scorpion experience just as Johnny Shen and also in Texas. So
nice. Well, congratulations on the win. Look forward to seeing you in the top 4, or top 4.
Top 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
So congratulations. Thank you for coming on and saying hi. Thank you. Like I said,
Thank
good
you,
luck.
man. Take care.
Thanks so much. All right, going back to our feature table, we are still on that water conflict at Defend the Wall. Looks like we're pylon Shuichi here. Played a Talisman of the Sun, and he's got that reprieve still there. 2 katanas coming out onto Ujina, trying to get over the top for the break.
Oh,
He's
we got the Talisman. Where are we going?
Look at that.
Look at
I
that.
feel Shameful Display might be the choice, unless he just wants to go to a province he doesn't care about.
What, did he already try to pop the Shameful and let the Yojimbo cancel?
Oh, now that I think about it, I don't think Yojimbo's fired, so the Shameful wouldn't be able to hit it. He does go to Manicured Garden. Looks like he's just going to gain a fate and take the break.
We have the Monk of Monks.
There is, in fact, the Shrine Maiden. Hits a Censure on it, and an Ancient Master. He's only going to get a Cloud the Mine.
There is no more cancels.
There is no more cancels, although we do have a lot of the relevant events have already been played. I believe really just 2 fight-ons and 2 charges left in the deck, and 1 Spreading the Darkness.
He has recursed with his Stronghold, a Supernatural Storm. That's the second one he's done that for. He has 1 Supernatural Storm in deck left. I'm not sure he's played it, though.
We see passes. Mercer takes the Water Ring, bows out Shuichi. Going through, that mountain does not fall. Schrodes has 1 more conflict left. He may consider sacrificing the Steadfast Witch Hunter to stand up Shuichi. In fact, I think it's probably the play. Just correcting the board state there. Yeah, there was a break.
And even with the giving the honor in the draw phase, he's managed to get Mercer back down to 6. So that is pretty good.
Yeah, although he's getting down there on honor himself as well. That's either 8 or 7. Passing through. Does gain the favor. I'm not sure why he didn't stand Shuichi there. Oh, oh yeah, I was going too fast. He does sacrifice the Witch Hunter to stand Shuichi? To claim the favor? I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what happened there.
Maybe just cuz.
Yeah, he can't go in to the attack because Kanjo District is there. He still has the favor. Holding that Kanjo District effect, blocking the second attack from Schrodes. Master of Gisei Toshi gets flushed, probably planning on buying Tadaka next turn.
I mean, why wouldn't you at this point?
He is a good choice for sure, especially blocking out the remaining fight-ons and the remaining charges. Casada's still sitting there on the board, just being a juicy charge target. But if he can't play charge, I believe Schrodes does have the first conflict turn though, so he will have 1 conflict not under Tadaka's spell. Going up to 8 fate. Mercer as well to 8 fate. Keeping the Kanjo District because why wouldn't you?
Oh,
Flips
nice.
a favorable ground and a
Connects
Solemn
Shuichi.
Scholar. See another Shuichi, and then 2 Hida Casadas and a Mia Mystic. Dupe on Shuichi. There comes Tadaka. Do you go the full complement of 3 here, or do you just do 2? Mercer's just going to do 2, saving that fate. I think if I'm Schrodes, I might just pass here, although we don't know if he has a charge in hand.
I just realized something that I didn't think on until this moment. We are at a queued Nasawa with no consumed by 5 fires.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have any consumed by 5 fires. I think that's totally a valid call, especially since there's the Embrace the Void combo is you can't run that with Tadaka anymore. Schrodes does play a Mia Mystic, and Mercer passes for the Fate. Draw phase. I'm sorry. I missed the bids there. It looks like we had a
3-1. It looked like
3-1. So 1 on Mercer's side and 3 on Schrodes.
He gained 2 there.
Mercer gains 2. It's hard to make out how many cards these guys have. I'd say probably 5 or 6 on each side. They've been playing them hot and heavy, and I doubt they'll be sitting with the library of cards that some people might be used to playing with. Of course, these are top-tier players. They're used to playing tight matchups with not a whole lot of options. Haruma Skirmisher comes down, reacts to give him covert. Mercer passes.
It's interesting, though. I wonder what he's planning to do with the covert.
He could maybe covert past Ujina.
Well, wouldn't the Yojimbo cancel?
It does, but then you've burned the Yojimbo cancel, and maybe you can get something through to
if he's
help against your Tadaka.
And he suckers the Tadaka in by coverting and letting the cancel happen, and then charge in Quesada. That could be really good swing. It forces an against the waves to get Tadaka back. But he's only got 2 Fate.
You do see a Void. Maybe could be. I mean, you may be thinking that he could force Ujina on his own Mercer's own guy, but he's got 2 characters with no Fate himself, so I highly doubt that. He does push in with Shuichi, so he's double coverting out Ujina and Tadaka. Mercer defends with the Yojimbo. 7-2. Shuichi gains a Fate. I believe we are breaking right now. Mercer's going to have to use that Kanto district.
Have we seen him use it once this game?
We have not. The threat of it is kind of enough, though. It's skilled players are going to be able to play around it, but it definitely limits their options.
Okay, does not use it still. Interesting.
Misses the break by 1. Does take the Void Ring. Oh, Ujina is clouded. I am sorry. Does Void off Tadaka. Looking at the discard pile.
Well, I made the decision between that and the Masterpiece Illusion, because obviously I wasn't buying both these cards. I'd rather get the Super God players. To your action first. Do you have a Vital in your discard?
Mercer looking at the discard, looking for that fight on. He is going to push with Tadaka on the Earth Ring to cancel out the event. Oh, he's all in with Ujina as well. And Tadaka is now online. We do have a Shugenja on the board. Schrodes could have a Cloud the Mind in hand.
Showing 12.
12 force on the attack. course, with the new errated wording on Tadaka, while it's contested, you cannot play actions, so he's canceling out the fight on possibility.
You can't play events that are in the discard pile. Uses the talisman, moves him over to meditations. Gonna void off the Tadaka. Tadaka is only gonna be there for one turn. That feels bad. Mercer moves Tadaka home to avoid the meditations. He is still breaking on 6 strength.
Now this is interesting. Did he defend with the Mia Mystic? Did we see that?
I don't believe he did.
Because if he could claim the ring right now, that would be pretty huge.
Yeah, facing down a 6 strength Ugina though, and you can't play any events that you need. So yeah, he does pass. There's a double Path of the Man. Gains 4 fate. Claims the ring and breaks. Tadaka is online for the whole turn now.
That's really interesting. No consumed by 5 fires, but still Path of Man.
Yeah, I mean, I think Phoenix, the natural evolution of Phoenix, they're used to playing with a lot of fate, and that Path of Man naturally slots into that economy slot. See if Schrodes declares an attack.
I'd also like to take this time where they're kind of in a low point to give a shout out to P. Mittens. You were amazing yesterday. Thank you for doing the commentary for day 1. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, P. Mittens did the commentary so all of our team here at He Show could play in the tournament. We did get one of our team members through to the top 8 to potentially rep us in the finals. Attacks in with Mia Mystic. Against the Waves comes down to battle Mia Mystic. I'm not sure why you don't just conjure there. Schrodes doesn't have any standing characters left. Can't play Fight On. There is a charge. No, because Tadaka, you can't play charge either. There's a charge in the discard pile. He could have just used the Conjure District, not wasted any resources on it. I mean, he still claimed the ring, though, so at the end of the day. Or didn't, prevented the ring from being claimed. Tadaka goes in on fire to the shameful display, breaks, honors himself. Mercer is getting pretty head-on board state now. That Shuichi's going to stick around another turn, but Mercer is pushing Stronghold in his first player next turn.
And he still is going to have the favor, and he still has the Conjure District.
Yeah, this is going to be a rough turn for Schrodes.
And without any breaks, we do have a Solemn Scholar in play to help connect the Stronghold break.
Yeah. Passing through, going to the Fate phase. That Haruma Skirmisher is going to go away. Everyone else stands up. No Fate on any characters on the board. I imagine we'll see that Solemn Scholar flushed. Pile of Fate on each side. Schrodes could probably just hardbuy Casada here. Seems like a good choice.
I mean, you gotta do something. He's coming for you.
Yeah. He keeps the Solemn Scholar. We have a Secluded Shrine? Is that the one where you return the rings and gain the honor?
Should be Forgotten Library.
Or sorry, no, it is Ancestral Shrine. There it is. 2 of Ancestral Shrine.
Oh, okay. Woo.
Yeah. So Ancestral Shrine is, I believe, you return your rings to the pool, and
we're pulling it up right now.
Right now. Return 1 or more rings from your claim pool to the unclaimed ring pool. Gain 1 honor for each ring returned this way. So if he was in trouble on honor, that could help him out. But he's pretty solid. He does have a Forgotten Library. He plays out the Solemn Scholar. Doesn't have a whole lot to spend that pile of Fate on this turn. Schrodes, on the other hand, hits the Vanguard Warrior, Akayu Envoy, and hard buys Casada. he's going to have a pretty solid defense here.
Not only does all that, but still maintains 3 fate for the conflict phase.
Oh, yeah. I think we had a 1-5 there. Mercer, yeah, he's sitting on a pile of cards now. In my opinion, Schrodes is in trouble here. Cloud the Mind hits Casada. I believe that is the first Cloud the Mind from the Phoenix player. So it not
2 more to go.
Yeah, not necessarily should be a surprise there. Was probably holding it a long time for that Casada, who's been sitting on the board face up all game.
Of course, go Earth to seal it out with the first attack.
Yeah.
Though
Turns
it is
on to
important to
Daka.
note that it will go to defend the wall. We do still have the talisman.
The talisman is on the board, isn't it? Yeah.
But still, locking to Daka's board state regardless, and getting the last of 4 provinces is huge. Who did he send, though? He doesn't really...
I believe he pushed. So all characters are in.
Oh. Well, that's not great for a talisman play.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great for the talisman player, I should say, but not... Last thing you want is to go all in and then get moved over to another province. That being said, 0 provinces break, so kind of not too worried about it either.
Yeah, Mercer can afford to take a turn here to break the defend the wall.
Because he'll have the Solemn Scholar still able to work while bound too.
He also has that Condo District still online. To
and
potentially
Against the Waves is still a thing.
Against the Waves is still
Has
a thing.
Has he even played one yet? I haven't yet.
I believe he's played 1.
Okay.
We do see the Talisman fire moving over to defend the wall. Clarity hits Ugina.
So
honors Ugina.
He's going to set up the tower defense unit.
We see another Clarity hits Tadaka. Oh, and now he's going to have the Solemn Scholar online as well.
Yeah, so with those 2 not bowing, and the Solemn Scholar and the Conjo District, he's in a pretty safe space, I think.
Yeah.
For the second attack, too, as a matter of fact.
Defend the wall breaks. It looks like Schrodes just didn't defend, which I think is probably the right call, especially when you have Talisman on board.
Ooh.
Hits the reprieve with the Earth Ring.
It is important to say, though, if he can survive the second volley, Schrodes could claw his way out. The board state of the Phoenix player, who does not have any reprieves or any form of saves, is going away in majority by the end of this turn. The only thing that's going to be on board after the end of this turn is the Solemn Scholar. And with the Casada and the Vengeful, which one is it? I can never remember his name. The one that sacrifices himself.
Vanguard Warrior.
Vanguard Warrior. Shuichi and Casada should still maintain board state.
Yeah.
So that would be a big, huge change.
Looks like Schrodes is going to go Water Ring at the Kanjo District. Looks like with Casada and Shuichi. Plays the Shrine Maiden, hits the Display of Power. That could be a big deal. I didn't see if he defended with anybody. He might not have, especially since he's got Kanjo and Solemn Scholar on board. I think it's probably the right call not to defend here. Manicured Garden to gain a fate because you can. Shuichi. Schrodes missed the Shuichi trigger, but now with the Manicured Garden gets to hit it. Mercer, Display of Powers, claims the Water Ring is going to... Kanjé District goes away, but the Water Ring stays in Mercer's, bows out the Vanguard Warrior, and now he's going to have a strong military attack going into the Crab Stronghold.
It's interesting that he didn't try to Kanjé.
He didn't need to. He just took the Water Ring.
Yeah, it's true.
And he'll keep the favor for the push in on the Stronghold.
That's true.
Goes in Air Ring. You see us spreading the darkness, going up +3. So we're at 4 to a lot. 7, 6, 13, 14, 15. I'm going to flip Casada's base stats.
Okay, so that brings me down to 13 to 5. So I'm still breaking.
13 to 5. Still breaking. Bows the Stronghold to go to 6.
That makes him 6. Right, the 13 to 6 will still break. You're right, my bad.
Still breaking.
Make sure I've got it right. So this guy's 5 now. 6, 13.
Let's see what Schrodes has here. Can't play the fight on. Throws out a Jade Tetsubo. Oh my. That brings him up to 9 and not breaking.
Bonsai and all new Gina.
That is not a bonsai there, Mercer.
That's not bonsai.
There's the bonsai. That's going to cancel out the Jade Tetsubo, plus give him an extra 1. He's now up to 17 to 9.
Here's my question.
And there's the handshakes. Mercer takes the game. Good game, guys. We're going to go on a quick break here, and then we'll bring you guys the standings as soon as we hear about them. Thanks so much. Stick around.
I'm running it.